Hey guys, it's Suri and welcome back to my YouTube channel. How are you guys doing? Welcome back to another video. I hope you guys are doing well. Guys, in today's video I am going to be talking about documents that you need if you want to work in Vietnam in 2024. It's a new year and there's been a lot of changes since the last time I made this video. I think last year there's been some new documents and there's also been some new implementations, and I also want to tackle a comment I've been getting all over like my social media platform in this video too. So yeah, if it's something you're interested in working in Vietnam and you want to know the documents you need and how to get here, then let's just jump right into the video. Keep on watching. Okay, so the first document you need, it's a no-brainer. It's a university degree. So you need a BSc. It's very important. I get people asking me, oh, I don't have a BSc, I have an associate degree, or I have this other diploma or certificate. Can I work with it? No, I mean, to be honest, I feel like some people would employ you regardless of that. However, if you really want to do it the right way and you want a working permit and a TRC, you need a university degree. It's very important. The BSc can be literally in any course. It can be, I study theater arts, so you can literally have your degree in any major, but a university degree is important. It's the #1 thing you would need if you want to work here in Vietnam. Okay guys, the next thing you're going to need is a TEFO course certificate. So a TEFO is basically a teaching English as a second language certificate. There are different online platforms where you can get this degree. I think the 120 hours one would work. It can be online, you can do the online or offline one. So yeah, you definitely need a TEFO because I feel like nowadays 90 to 95% of schools or centers would ask you for this. And also, if you don't have a TEFO and you have an IELTS, I think, especially for non-native speakers, an IELTS would also be an equivalent to a TEFO if you have an IELTS certificate. And also recently, the past couple months, the one thing that has also been introduced that you would need when it comes to certifications, especially for non-native speakers. If you're not a non-native speaker, this doesn't really apply to you. I think for a native speaker, all you probably need is your university degree and a TEFO. But if you're a non-native speaker, so non-native speakers are people who come from countries that are considered as English as not their first language. So if you're from any African country except South Africa, this definitely relates to you. You would need a C1 or a C2 proficiency test. So you would have to take this test. I unfortunately don't know where you can do this, but I'm pretty sure you can do it online, because when I applied, this wasn't a law, so they didn't really ask me for this test. So I personally right now, but now it's something you need if you're a non-native teacher speaker and you want to work here in Vietnam. So when it comes to documentation, a university degree, a TEFO, and if you don't have a TEFO, an IELTS can be an equivalent, and a C1 and C2 proficiency test if you are a non-native speaker. Okay guys, the third thing that you will need, this is definitely something that is new. It's pedagogical. So this is for people who did not study education in university. So yes, even if you have a BSc degree, if your BSc degree is not in education or early childhood education, you have to have a pedagogical. This is a new law that has just been passed and it's been implemented, because I know one of the teachers that was recently in my school, this new school year, she needed this pedagogical certificate. So you have to have a pedagogical certificate. You can do this online, I think. I'm sorry, you'd have to do your research on where to do pedagogical. I have no idea about that. Luckily, again, when I was, when I applied, this wasn't the law, so it doesn't really affect me right now, unless the only way I would do the pedagogical now is if I want to change my school and apply to a new school. That new school would ask for the pedagogical. So, and since I don't intend on doing that, I don't think I'm going to be taking the pedagogical exams anytime soon. So yeah, you do need a pedagogical if you want to work here in Vietnam. This is the new law. This is the new new credentials that has been added to the list of items that you would need. So yeah, that is also something you would need as well. So guys, yes, just to reiterate, just to give you to refresh our memory and everything you need, because these are all the items. So you need a BSc. Now if your BSc is in education or early childhood, you're good to go. But if you don't have a BSc in education or early childhood, you just need a BSc in any degree, that works. And then you need a TEFO degree or an IELTS equivalent. If you're a non-native speaker, you would need a proficiency test C1 or C2. And if your university degree is not in education or early childhood education, you would need a pedagogical. These are the 4 things at the moment that I am aware of at the time I am filming this video that you will need in order to work here, and most importantly in order to get your work permit and your TRC to work legally in the country. So, and all of these documents, you have to authenticate them. What this means is you have to take all of these documents to the Vietnamese embassy in your country to authenticate. So if you're Nigerian like myself, you have to take all these documents to the Vietnamese embassy in Abuja, and each documentation for Nigerians authenticating your documents, each authentication costs $100 per document. It's very expensive. It's a very expensive process. I don't know how much it is for other countries, how much it costs to authenticate all of these documents. So you'd have to take these documents to the Vietnamese embassy in your country, and then you authenticate it. And when your documents are authenticated, then obviously you get a job and you give all this to your employer, and then they'll make all the necessary documentation in order for you to get your TRC and your work permit. Now before I end this video, there's one thing I really want to clarify that I've seen a lot of people, let me not say a lot, it's not a lot, let me not lie. I've seen like 1 to 3 comments. I've seen someone mention it here on my YouTube, one of my videos, and I think this comment has popped up a lot more on my TikTok. It is that people are saying that I am selling dreams to especially non-native speakers to come teach here, that I'm not really sure telling them the reality of how like the job market is here. And if you're someone that you've been watching my content for a very long time, and I've talked about excuse me, when I sat down and I've talked about teaching in Vietnam, I always say in my videos that for non-native speakers, it is difficult. If you're not from the US or Canada, Australia, England, South Africa, New Zealand, and I always forget there's always one more country. If you're not from any of those native speaking countries, and if you're not white, it's difficult. I always say in my videos, I'm not telling you to just come here and expect to land a job tomorrow. If that happens for you, oh my god, I'm so happy for you, because I know how difficult it is for non-native speakers, especially Africans who come here trying to find a job. I know how difficult it is, and I always say it in my videos, and I don't think I have in any way, shape or form been selling you guys a dream that when you come here it's just you just find a job immediately. Please let me know in the comments if that's what I have been selling to you guys, and if that's it, I'm sorry. It's really, really difficult here for non-native speakers to find a job, especially if you are black, because I'm going to be honest, schools here prefer white people, European people. If you're a non-native speaker, they'll prefer people from like Russia or any European country that doesn't speak English. You see people actually on their job ads post European teacher needed, and when they mean European teacher, if you're a black person who has a Russian passport, that they're not talking about you, they're talking about white Europeans. It's like I've stated that a lot of times here, that most schools centers, they're very biased when it comes to colors and races of the teachers they want, and sometimes it's not their fault, it's the fault of the parents. They're catering to the parents, it's what the parents want, but it is what it is. So I just wanted to put that out there, that if I'm selling dreams to you, if that's what it seems like I've been doing all this while, I apologize. The job market here is very saturated. There are a lot of people coming here every day trying to look for a job, and if you're a non-native teacher, it's going to be a lot more difficult for you to find a job than a white person. So I just wanted to put that out there. So yeah, this is the end of the video. I know this video is very short, and also I'm rushing to go out, so I'm really trying to film this video very quickly, but I just want to get quick and straight to the point. I don't want to waste your time. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comment section. I'm always happy to answer your questions regarding anything else any questions that you might have when it comes to teaching here in Vietnam. Also, let me know what kind of videos you guys wanted to see relating to this part of my content, teaching here in Vietnam. What kind of other topics you want me to talk about when it comes to working here as a foreigner in Vietnam. Yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for spending a precious time with me today. I really appreciate that, and yeah, I will see you guys in my next one. Bye.